Put together a slideshow for today, working from home. It's just too much to find out right now. So good morning, everybody. Welcome along. Amber, what are you up to? Come on. Oh. There's the Emberess. Hey, Marcia. Hey, Todd. Hey, Luann. Hey, everybody. Oh, okay. Not one for being picked up too much. Hey, Becky. Hey, Marcia, Todd, Cindy, Beth, Carol. Found some more stuff. I promised I would update you guys on the Diamond Queen, yesterday's Find a Grave subject. So we'll wait till everybody gets on. I'll tell you what I found. We still got plenty left to find out. She was always a woman of mystery. Still finding more stuff to add in really quick here. Alright, got it. Hey, everybody. Hey, Kathleen, Lynn, Geraldine, Todd, Heather. Hey, everybody. Kathleen, Lisa, Katie, Laura, Lori, everybody. Hey, everybody. Welcome along. And bring out yourself a mouse. Your pet with you? There it is. Yeah, these are, well, they're the old glasses, but new lenses in them. So, happy January, everybody. Happy New Year. Hey, Mom, hey, Sherry, Susan, anybody I might have missed. Start going in just a second here, as I can't wait to tell this story of Celia Wallace, the Diamond Queen. And it gets weirder and weirder. So good morning, everybody. Hey, Sue. Hey, Marita. Hey, Vicky. Well, all right, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started. We'll hit pause on the Benny here. So, all right, welcome along, everybody. I'm Adam Selzer for Mysterious Chicago Tours, morning mini tours every day. Today, I am working from home because yesterday we went out to Graceland Cemetery for Find a Grave Friday and located the grave, approximately the grave, of Celia Wallace, who is known as the Diamond Queen of Chicago. This is about as good a portrait of her as you find. I can't find any of them extant that are actually like scanned photos. They're all just newspaper stuff that you can get off of microfilm reels and newspaper scans at about this level of quality. Chicago's woman of mystery. The daughter of a congressman, she was married to J.S. Wallace, a Chicago lumberman, but only for 5 or 6 years before they divorced. She got enough from the settlement to start buying lots and lots of diamonds. So that's what she did. Here's a bit of a close-up on her. You can see her there wearing a tiara. Now, as we noted yesterday during the show, she was buried along with her mother Priscilla. You can see a Priscilla in this photograph, once again just a newspaper, and her son J.S. Jr. is in the plot as well, I believe. So by this time, in the 1890s, about 20 years after the divorce, especially and after her son had died, she started buying up lots and lots of jewelry. Like, there is this opal tiara that seems to have disappeared off of this thing already, and 24 karat diamonds. You can see her wearing the tiara in the thing. Around this time, 1897, she was going to the opera, very rarely seen outside of her hotel room at the Auditorium Hotel, or the Palmer House before that. Never really received visitors, never really made a showing on the social scene, but then one day she shows up at the opera wearing a $50,000 gown in 1890s money. It's like $1 million gown today, or more, probably $1.5 million, plus $100,000 worth of jewels. Around this same time, she purchased the Upham diamond. This is a diamond owned by the governor of Wisconsin at the time. That was said to be the second largest diamond in the country. Now, over here we do have I did download this one thing that I needed to add in here. Forgot to put it in. There's a little article about it from 1941. In 1897, a couple of enterprising persons got away with the pin of Governor Upham. They were apprehended 2 days later and turned out to be Chicago hoodlums, proving that Chicago has always been the same. Ooh. Now, Patty Swanson is working on a presentation for Chicagoans. It'll be like, how did we get this reputation? We're not anywhere near the most crime-ridden city. But even back then, that was sort of the reputation. So here's where we get a little bit weirder, is Celia Wallace disappeared from the record a couple of years after this. In 1916, she was located in Hartford. Located outside of Hartford, Connecticut, living in a little cottage, and gave a whole interview talking about her time with Susan B. Anthony, talking about Ralph Waldo Emerson, talking about which of her friends had read Emerson and which ones hadn't. Some very interesting stuff here, just living in a cottage, reportedly still pretty wealthy. After this interview came out, she had to start moving around and hiding again because she was afraid people were going to come steal her jewels. She died in 1923. I'll just drag in a headline right here. Death of Diamond Queen, lived behind barred doors. Death has revealed the hiding place of Mrs. Celia Hermione Wallace, the former Diamond Queen of Chicago, feminist, philanthropist, and personal friend of Mary Baker Eddy, Hetty Green, the Wall Street witch, Frances Willard, Susan B. Anthony, Henry Ward Beecher, Edward Everett Hale, and Ralph Waldo Emerson. See on the side there, today there was a rush of fortune seekers to the modest cottage in West Haven, following rumors that the aged woman, formerly a leader in the most brilliant society of Chicago, had buried many of her jewels on the premises. Mrs. Wallace was 89 years old. So, all right. She died in the spring of 1923. September of 1923. She was buried here in Chicago about a year later. About 15 months later, December 1st of 1924, she was buried at Graceland Cemetery. So here is what I found out yesterday. In 1885, when Priscilla died, she actually purchased a very large plot at Graceland Cemetery, spent about $3,000 in 1880s money. That plot was up in the Ridgeland section, right near Marshall Field, right across from the Potter Mausoleum. You can see the pond over in the background here, the Medill grave. This was her plot. It is now the Anderson plot. I'll put that right there. So this plot was purchased and buried. The only occupant there for a long time was Priscilla. But in 1921, from what I can gather out of the letters, the estate such as what was left. A lot of the jewels had reportedly been pawned over the years, but her niece and nephew had their agent take the body to be buried and also inquired about Priscilla's remains and had them moved out of that plot in Ridgeland near Marshall Field and moved to her ex-husband's plot, which I don't think they really should have been able to do. Now, the plot had been turned over to the trustees of the Graceland Cemetery Improvement Fund a few years before, but that still allowed family members to be buried there. I think that this authorized agent conveniently left out the fact that she was divorced from J.S. Wallace. They just said, yes, you could be moved there. This allowed them to sell that plot to the Andersons. But it also gets a little bit weirder than this, is from what I can see from the paperwork, they sold this plot, this very large plot that Celia had bought 40 years before for $3,000, and they sold it to the Andersons. Mr. Anderson was a plastering contractor, and from what we can tell, they sold it to them for $10. There has got to be something missing from this story. Well, not to mention just all of these stories about diamonds, big famous diamonds that were famous in their day and kind of disappeared off of the record now. My first thought was, were they buried with her? Surely the nephew would have gotten a hold of them in that case. Surely. Right? So, all right, you should see her in a crown. She's going to run this town. All right, everybody, so thanks a lot. That is what has been occupying me the last couple of days, other than doing some really rockin' karaoke last night, if I do say so myself. Going to be a fun night tonight as well. Always something going on here in Chicago. Be a weird day of reading some of the weirdest headlines I have seen in years this morning. All right, well, thanks everybody for joining me. I'm Adam from Mysterious Chicago Tours. I am telling you all to stay safe. We'll cover Celia Wallace in more detail on the Patreon this week, starting on Monday, and more stuff on the deep research tier. So thanks everybody for following me along with me on this interesting little mystery of what became of the jewels. There's so much more to find out here. A lot of it, I think her probate might be in Florida. It seems to have been announced there more, though she died in Connecticut. It's hard to get Connecticut probates. There's not one where you can just find the wills online, as there are with some people. But yeah, Kristen, that was about me. Logged into Blue Sky for a minute, and I decided about 1 o'clock in the morning, kind of a what the hell. Then saw the headline, back to bed. Well, all right. So stay spooky, everybody. Stay safe, stay warm, and we'll make the most if we can of 1926, 2026. Did I say 1926? Well, we'll make the 20s roar, whatever. So, all right, everybody. I will see you tomorrow for another morning mini tour.